Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. So today we are going to talk about Equipoise. I'm going to talk to you about how to use it, how to dose it, how to be safe on it. This is extremely highly requested, so I definitely wanted to make sure I got this out there. But before we get into that, huge thank you to everybody that's supporting the channel. Please, if you haven't yet, subscribe, hit the like buttons, make sure to click that bell icon after you subscribe so that you get all the notifications from YouTube. And also, when the video starts, make sure to check out those podcast links down there. You can get the videos in podcast form as well. So follow along there as well because you never know. But always stay subscribed to everything because you don't want to miss out on any of the information. So let's talk Equipoise. This one's kind of a short and sweet one. There's not a ton that I need to get into, but it's definitely an important video. I see a lot of misuse of Equipoise or misunderstanding, so I want to make sure that you fully understand how to use it properly. Now, Equipoise is a very long ester. Right up there, rivals with Deca in terms of the length of the ester. So you don't want to go any less than 12 weeks on this. To be honest with you, I've always been one that recommends it in that 14 to 16 week range. I really don't like long cycles that are drawn out too long, but there's always exceptions to rules. That's just life. That's just the way it goes. And Equipoise for me has always kind of been that exception. I always have told people in the past, you've got to run at 16 weeks. And I stand by that in terms of getting the most out of it. But 14 weeks, you're still going to get a ton out of it. And it's completely fine to not drag your cycle on too long. If you run it 12 weeks, that's a good amount of time, but understand that you're still leaving stuff on the table. You're not going to really get the max value out of it. You can still get results, and you're still going to do well with it. But, like I said, don't expect to max it out in terms of what you can get out of it. So, in terms of dosing, you could go as low as about 400 milligrams and still see some nice results. I see people, and I am one in the past, once again, that used to always recommend 800 milligrams. I've ran it at 800 milligrams. That's the max that I would go with it. I don't really recommend that kind of dosing anymore, and maybe I've gotten even a little bit more conservative over the years, but that's because I've learned more, I've experienced more, and I've seen more. And I've seen that you can get more with less, and you can avoid a lot of the side effects. There's no reason to put your body in harm's way if you're not going to really get that much out of it. If I can tell you, hey, we'll run it at 800 milligrams, but you're going to have a bunch of side effects, you're going to have a longer recovery, and you might gain more initially, but after all said and done, you might have gained less or be exactly on par with what you did at a lower dose, but you didn't have to endure all of this while doing it. Well, most people, I think, would probably say, let's avoid the side effects and, go with a little bit less of a dose. 500 to 600 milligrams a week, sweet spot. I promise you, you will get great results and you're going to keep those side effects down. I'm going to do an entirely separate video where we just talk about Equipoise on its own, break down some different things on it, get more into the side effects of it. This is more about how to use it and dose it. But one of the main side effects with Equipoise is going to be an increase in red blood cell count, which means that you're likely and you should be donating blood while you use it. So that's another thing that you need to keep in mind while using it, and that's why the higher you go, the more that's going to affect you, and that's stuff that's just not necessary, in my view. Everybody's different, and that's cool. But in my view, I prefer to keep side effects as low as I possibly can while still maximizing what I can get out of the compound. And, I think more, especially now that I've gotten older, about that longevity and that quality of life. A lot of you have kids, a lot of you are married, and even if you're not, you still want a good quality of life for yourself. But if you have children, if you have a significant other, you also need to think about them. Okay? Don't be careless and reckless. Think about the feelings of the people that love you and care about you, and keep that in mind when you're dosing these things. When I give more conservative dosing, it's because I'm looking out for everybody while still trying to get you to max out the value of what you can get out of things. So don't think that I, am, oh, he does this or that, or he's weak with this and that. No, I'm really honestly, truly looking out for you. That's why. And I know that I've taught things in the past that I have changed my view on now. A lot of it's dosing. A lot of it is, well, maybe running less. And, but there's a lot of things, like you saw my apology to Anavar video. You have to grow as a person to keep credibility and to show people that nobody's perfect, but you're quick to recognize things and you move forward. Things change. Things change over time, and we learn things. That's why a person in the NBA, they don't just stop practicing. They're shooting thousands of shots a day. Well, for somebody in my position here, I have to read every day, and I have to learn every day, and I have to be willing to accept mistakes. The best athletes have made a ton of mistakes, but they learn from it and they move forward. That's what we all have to do as individuals. So, sorry to get into that, but I just want you to kind of understand where I'm coming from with the recommendations. So, everybody, it's always a pleasure. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate all of you. Keep following, keep staying tuned, keep sending me those video requests. You guys know I see you post. I'm hearing it. It takes me time, and I have lists of things that I've kind of prioritized. But you hit me up, I'll add it to my list as long as it's something that I feel like will make a good video. So that being said, appreciate y'all. Love you all. Stay tuned. Dylan Gemelli signing off.